following program contains mature subject matter, coarse language, and content that some viewers may find offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm here because you gotta go away. You get that? We'll never be friends. Because you're a creep. You go to prison. That's where you belong. So I don't care. Whatever people, they have the exact opposite perception that people have of me. You get that? I'm here for another reason. Well, people are here for their reason. How do we get each other so wrong? Could you tell me that? Does it make sense what I'm saying? How do we look at each other with such wrong perceptions? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Hello? How can it be so lopsided? Talk to me. Because I can't make sense of this.
No, I mean, you make perfect sense. And he left. I thought you were just yelling at that Nick Word guy. He obviously was coming from the wrong angle.
Oh, he left. I didn't do anything to him. He was the one who left.
Probably knew that, like, he got called out and he can't really defend himself.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, my body keeps telling me that this is very bad. You know, every time I sit down and think about it just for a second, I realize that it's a tremendous waste of time, and that waste of time turns into anger and resentment and bitterness over every second that people have taken away from me, because that's not my fault, right? I can't blame myself. I can't say, well, you did that to yourself. No, other people forced me down those tracks again and again and again. Why I simultaneously all the time said, don't do that, 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 don't do that. I'm going to die because now there's no more time left after time. You see? And I don't have the time. But I'm still forced to have the time, to make the time. You get it? And I'm just done. Every day, it just keeps piling on. Like now it's 8 years and 3 days or whatever, right? I need something to change. I need something to break. Whatever it is, I need people to go to prison. Whatever it is, I need a life. I need to grow. I can't do this. I just can't do this. I just gotta continue to go to the place. I can't do this. And whoever I need to talk with today, I'll talk with them. And then we'll see they don't go nowhere. And they gotta fucking go. Right? Because I'm done with it. And so we just keep confronting until it's done and gone. Because I want Kiwi Forms done and gone. And I won't stop until it's dead. And they're all in prison. Okay? Because then I'll feel achieved and like I've done something. Right? Then we save 10,000 people. If that's what it takes. I don't care what it takes. I want to do something with my life. I want to make some money. I want to have success. I want to live in a house. I want to have a family and children. Too. I want things with my life. But nobody ever asked. I would like to have success in my life. Is that possible? Could I have dreams in my life? Aspirations.
The famous words of Sam Hyde, think it, dream it, do it.
Yeah. And then you see the reality, yeah. But I wish that people could see that I also deserve. I never had success in my life. I was a shit for my entire life, dude. That's not to say I haven't been happy or anything. It's just people have worried more about ruining my life than actually supporting success in my life. I don't know what the fuck that is for. I deserve success. I haven't done shit. I have talent.
You gotta realize that a lot of these people who come after you, they've never felt happy in their lives. Like,
okay, well,
feel it.
They could feel happy if they weren't such a fucking problem, right? If they just listened to me, they could find a way to be happy. If they listened to me with respect instead, they could have just find their own happiness. But they don't want to be happy. That's the problem. They want to be miserable. obviously, if they spend all their time trying to make other people miserable, then it's because they want to be miserable, right? Because there's no other choice. That is their choice. And that's the choice that they choose. That's the thing you have to remind them every day, that they are miserable because they are problem-thinking people rather than solution-oriented people, right? They are part of the problem because they are the problem. They identify as the problem. That's why they can't be happy, because there is no happiness in having no purpose in life. That's why I'm unhappy, because I don't have a purpose in life, right? You see it? And that's my problem too. So, in the fact that they do, I lose my purpose and they lose their purpose. I would look at each other and we say, "Wait, who's gonna waste more time then? Oh, look at that! I'm retired and I'm old. Oh, that's right. The price is the time. Who's winning? God, or I don't know who's, but I'm not winning. You're not winning. Nobody's winning. There's no winners. It's time. Then tell them. It's not hard. Just tell them, hey, you're wasting this man's time. Get the fuck out. Right, get lost. Just tell them, TikTok, this man's time is precious. Bye.
But you want us to tell them?
Yeah. I don't want to waste time on it.
Okay, well, next time somebody talks shit, I'll tell them to stop wasting time.
Good. I actually like that. I respect that. I would appreciate that very much, because it's all about time and effort in the end. So if you can make me spend less time and effort on it, I'd owe you one. I owe you one, really. Because I owe you the time back then, because you helped me get some more time on my clock. I'd actually appreciate that a lot. I'd kind of be indebted to you in a short amount of time, wouldn't I? Because all that time you saved me?
You think it's really going to save a lot of time?
Yeah, it's gonna take. You know,
Really think
who
I have
knows?
that much control?
I think if you can keep them away from me, that's gonna save hours. Imagine yesterday, nothing was done because we were talking with Nigward and Diplomat, right? It was all like
Well, I mean, me and Port had your back though. I mean, we weren't
yeah.
we
You know,
were,
yeah. No, yeah, it was good. I'm just saying, like, if you take a look at yesterday, for instance, as a day, and you see my day, I got nothing done in terms of my book,
Yeah.
or like
I
it
understand.
was all just for them, right? The whole day, and I thought it was worth it because, you know, people can grow, right? And I won't have so much what do you call it, resistance, because I talked with them. So that's helpful. But after the day was done, when I went to bed, right, I had this feeling that this is just such a life that I do not want to have. Right? It's like it keeps coming back to me. It's like, wow, you spent so many years and there's just nothing you can do. And I think of the things that I could have had, would have had, should have had, right? And I'm like, why you keep streaming to these people? In reality, you could just work. You could work the same amount of time. Just fucking build a house or have a job, any job, working in a factory, whatever. And you could make, what, $3,000 a month, right? At the least. I could get my life, I could get a good situation really fast. But instead, I'm struggling with people doing the same. I'm doing struggling rounds for pennies. It's like, what am I doing? Right? Makes no sense. Makes no logical sense. And so when I come back to it, of course I'm pissed, because people literally do wasting that time, and I feel regret. I feel regret. I'm like, I'm so close to just tossing everybody out and just leaving my own life altogether, because it's not. I just don't want to be stuck in my life. I gotta grow. So I don't know what to do. One day it's just gonna disappear like that, because people just don't get it. They don't get that it's not working for me. And if it's not working, it's not. I want to change it. It's gonna change one way or another. You just use your logic. What do you think? It's not working for me. It's just not working. My life is not working. I'm not getting the place. I'm not reaching my goals. I'm not getting my growth. All of these things. It's stagnating, and it's not me, because I have the mindset of growth. So somebody else is crashing my growth all the time. Of course, I am ultimately one doing it, but look at the people. Look at these clowns. Not all of them. There's some growth. That's really good. So it's hard and long, but that's fucking slow.
Well, you're always talking about how like the nature of being potato is being simple and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like all this internet shit, it just complicates everything.
Yeah.
Just adds so much unnecessary complication to your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always like, hey, like just take a step back, like just
Yeah.
get off the internet, just like meditate, just like
Yeah.
try,
Yeah. Well,
do a
that's what I
hobby,
did,
like
right? I came back to the internet, and that's after my meditation and sleep and everything. And I come back, and all I can say is it's fucking shit. Not you guys, actually. There's good stuff, but there's so much shit, right? And it's not even bad, actually. It's better than it's been for a long time, actually. If you look at the situation now, it's fairly good, and we're coming to a turning point where things are gonna get better. That's what I believe. It's good right now. It's getting to better, so it's not impossible in the situation we're in. It's just a general frustration that generally my life is not going a lot of places, and that is extremely frustrating for me. I just want to say that to people, and I don't direct that at anybody particular. Um, I'm just frustrated that I feel regret over the 8 years I've wasted. I felt like I wanted to be a little bit more successful, or I felt like I put a lot of work, and so it's sad for me to see that I don't go anywhere. That's one of the most agitating things for me, is that I try and I do honest work, and I don't have anybody to reach out to, and it's TXT and Mandalorian, and I don't know what the fuck. I don't deserve that, right? Anybody else has a fucking network of people they can reach out to. Why do I not get to reach out to people? It's I don't get treated like a human being that way, and it's just it doesn't sit right with me. Why do I have to be isolated? What's wrong with my soul? What they can do that, but why? Why they do that? Why they do that every single time? I talk with anybody outside of the space. They go and say, "Oh, he's a pedophile. Don't talk with him." Oh, yeah. See you later, guys. And then I just sit and be sad because that's life I can't live. Yeah. How could you
Yeah, it's
live a
pretty
life
rough.
like that? So, and then people just yell at me and they don't understand, and no one understands, and I just it makes me sad because people don't get me. They don't get me, and they don't want to, and they don't. It's not the life. This is. I don't live in the. I don't know what I can do. It makes me sad. It's not right. It's not. It doesn't sit right with me. Does it sit right with you? But what have I done? What have I done? I just exist,
you
and
could
this.
just poke
I
through
suffer.
the
I
bee's
suffer.
nest and
I suffer. Well, it's. I haven't done anything, dude. I suffer. They want to stalk, dude. Are you not getting it? It doesn't matter what I do. Good, bad, like nothing. If I sit on a couch, that's too much for some people. They would need to stalk me because I sit on a couch and stare at the wall. Don't you get it?
yeah.
It's too much that I sit here in VC and breathe. Right? And it's not because of hate per se. Well, hate is one thing. They have sickness, illness, right? It's TXT and Meta. You think they're normal, sane people? Why don't people call the police on them? Why? How did they even have a restreaming channel up? How do they have those things running?
Yeah, I
Not
don't
that.
even know about that.
How do you manage to run a restreaming channel against another person just so frivolously and free? Like it's no
Well,
problem at all. Not copyright
you
infringement at
could
all or nothing.
DMCA him, really, if you wanted to. But I
Yeah,
don't know if Rumble actually followed through on them or whatever. But yeah, that's about like the only thing he could do. But
yeah, but because sometimes I wonder, how do things even exist? How can it happen against me when it shouldn't? The
yeah, it's
obvious answer is that shouldn't even be possible.
but DSP and Wings have a lot of channels too that restream them and clip them, put all the negative moments, stuff like that, and yeah,
It's probably Mandalorian too. It's probably when Mandalorian goes in reverse, we can all of these things disappear out of the world. Yeah. It's good to see PKFC on the right team. By the way.
I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm on a team, but I'm just kind of like, if I'm going to call anybody, I mean, I've called you out on things, but I've also, called people out who,
Yeah.
say things about you. I mean, I'm on whichever side I feel is right. Like, last night, you said a lot of true things, but like, and I even told you it wasn't right about, the telling him to, kill himself and
Kill
stuff.
himself. Yeah.
And so I mean, it's whatever way. Like, I mean, I like seeing you happy. I like being able to chill and seeing you in a good mood, and laughing and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like we talked about it yesterday. I'm really not like I'm not here in the sense that most people are. I'm just here to talk to people and
Yeah.
don't
Well,
really have.
Yeah, with
the,
some, they just want conflict and
Yeah,
nothing else.
it's like what Deathwing said. I just
Yeah.
like if you say something I don't like, I'm gonna say something, and I do it to you all the time. I do it to other people in VC. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
but I mean, when you're right too. Though, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, we have a rare place here, though, because the sector, it shouldn't be possible to have this paradigm. Once people establish the abuse and the targeting, a place like this should not be possible for them, but it is. And so it's a testament to the tremendous amount of work that I have done, and people also, because it's not just a one-man project.
yeah.
So it is a testament, and so even if I don't think I've done a lot of progress, right? If I look at my life and say, well, you didn't make much money for 8 years and your life sucks, I
It's not
still
all about money
feel
though.
Yeah.
it's not about money. So it doesn't matter that much, right? It's
It's more
about the
about
achievement.
growth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so when I look at it, even though it doesn't feel like a lot of growth, there's a tremendous amount of growth because the challenges that I had have been enormous. And when you look around at other people, how they have dealt with these challenges, you could say self-imposed challenges in my case, right? But also very much forced. It's like self-imposed, but it's also forced upon you.
Yeah.
So, but when I look back, I look at Chris or Cyrex or people, I see a lot of people that have either given up or is very deep in it.
Yeah. They just becomes, I
So
guess,
it's yeah. So
I
it's
don't know.
so it's quite an achievement to be a failed cow. I wouldn't have been a failed cow if I hadn't managed. If I,
Yeah.
otherwise I would have been a very successful cow, you could say. So I consider that another success is that I have fewer pages than Marty, and we're talking about the same time. Marty has over double hit the pages. Not that it's about the amount of pages or anything, just that Marty keeps stacking up pages. My Kiwi Farms is almost dead. So while I had all the cameras and eyes and everything on me,
Calm down quite a bit.
yeah. Well, that's the thing though, is that many people don't know that whole year, right? I was playing
Yeah.
into all their
Blood moved on
hands.
too.
Like I was letting myself tumble down, right? Because I was like, what do they want to do with this one? They couldn't do that, right? They don't want to. And my curiosity killed me every time, right? It's like, let's see what they're gonna. It's like,
Yeah.
no. And
Yeah.
and so curiosity is a very thing. But 8 years on, I think there's a lot of things that some of these people misunderstand, right? Because there was never supposed to be something that stick, and to some people they want it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's fair. Not only is it not fair, I mean, let's look at Grace and Ben Thorpe, right? They didn't know what it was to begin with, and they do these little fun things, and it's just a joke, and before you know it, they're in the same situation. You see how that happens, right? Grace, there's something with a bottle or something stupid on a camera, and then everybody's like, no, it's for real now. Over a 1 second clip on camera that's like a joke or whatever, and they got the whole family split up because of it. Everybody keeps saying it's true, right? But there's no definitive evidence. It's just people treat them like shit. Just like they treat me like shit because they're so self-assured in their ignorance. Does that make sense? It's like
Yeah.
all people need is some whiff of something. It's like, oh, that's for real. It's like, okay, what are you talking about? Like it's like people put their head in their ass on purpose, and then they start. Oh, it sure smells in here.
That's true.
It's just a visual there, but yeah. And every time I'm over there, I get kicked out, right? So everybody, at least at some point, it was like that, right? Everybody would say like, "Oh, they're pedophiles. Oh, look, it's daughter and father," and they're all galvanized and summoned around that place, right? And I enter, and they're all like, "Oh, pedophile, you gotta go. You gotta look. Oh, you're," and I get kicked out. I'm like, "What is this? I can't be there because they should. What?" It's like so it's just when you look at it and you walk through it and you walk through all these stupid things, it's the dumbest shit ever. And I don't know what it is with people. But like PKFC, he was probably onto something there. Everybody has a mental disorder, right? I'm reluctant to go with that as well in that boat, PKFC. Everybody's mentally ill around here, and that's just it. And we are fixing mental illness. I think that's probably a good approach. Yeah. But it is crazy when you have to walk in the shoes, right? And you see how this sensationalism and drama just gets stirred up for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
I do see the benefit though. Like I do see there's a benefit in it, but I don't know. I feel like for what it's worth, this whole expose of people, like there's so many obscure people out there that deserve kind of a looking in on them, right? There's so many angles that make people unique, but Kiwi Farms, they squander that potential because they use their negative emotions in order to create stir. When in reality they could use the curiosity to create interest. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why use hate in order to establish a parasocial relation when you can use the element of curiosity and creativity to show their quirky sides and then say this person is interesting because they paint or because they have mental disorder or they are not like this or that person and they have, they could be way more delicate. That's one thing that I noticed, is if it was medical science or anything else, they wouldn't treat people that way. And it's just like they're meat and animals and cows. And I feel like that's the first place where it really, really, becomes like nasty and bad. It's just this disregard of human life. And it just becomes like a place for abuse. Because it's set up exactly like that. Where that's the one main crime that's being done is instead of a catalog of cows, it should be a catalog of human beings that are unique. Because the positive side, right? Because the positive sides of it is the expose, and people need that. And so why not? I've always been for that, but I've always been against the hate and the abuse and this degradation of human life. So I've always thought there are good aspects of it, but just it's so badly executed and so it becomes something that I'm not sure it has to be. And I'm sure some of these people are terrible people, so don't get me wrong. It just still doesn't sit right with me. And that's all.
Yeah.
So, but that's my deep down take on Kiwi Farms anyways, is that there are good elements, there's good aspects of it. It's just the people that utilize it as tools are not great people. And Josh Moon himself is a terrible, terrible guy. People look up to that guy, and I don't get it. I don't get it because his vision, as much as he achieved a lot, right? He got a lot of people going. I don't know. It's just, it goes beyond free speech, because that's kind of how they proclaim themselves as, oh, we're just using free speech, but they're not using free speech. They're using manipulation in order to. Lies is not free speech anyways. It's defamation, right? So it's like they're using defamation claims against people, and then having single individuals deal with that from 100 people. You can't sue 100 anonymous people, right? It's very hard, and that's kind of also one of the things they write on, is that they'll border the law, border legalities, and then think that that's okay too. And that's insane. That's insane to me, because that's erodes society altogether. Right? It's like, who gives a shit about the laws? So even human rights and laws, and that's where it becomes puzzling to me, because if they're just a bunch of criminals, how the fuck can they exist for 22 years? Are their lies really so fat that police can't even? They're so bad at investigating, they can't even see what's going on? Or are they corrupt, or what's going on? Like, why is that site never investigated? So strange to me.
It's been shut down numerous times, though. But it always comes back like a cockroach, I guess.
Yeah,
What
but
shut
it's
down?
been shut down by people. It's people engagement that shut it down. It was
Oh,
people's.
Kiwi Farms?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's never been shut down.
Exactly. It's never been.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
been.
been tax. No.
It's been
Yeah.
it's been down before. I've seen
No.
it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
because of like web attacks, not by like government agencies shutting it down.
Exactly. It was the people that did it. It was
Yeah,
people's engagement that just shut it down, and then it came up again, and no police, no nothing, never, ever.
Yeah, like it's just all people doing their own DDoS attacks, stuff like that on the server.
Yeah, it's people's engagement. What do you call this? It's activism that shut it down. But people have tried to call the police many times on the site. Trust
Yeah,
me.
that's just U.S. laws, and to be honest, Keppel's the whole scamming, like GoFundMe money, that really stopped a lot of people from going after the site, because
Yeah.
she did lie about a lot of stuff when there's no reason to lie about shit. There's more than enough you can say negative about the site.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah, it is. Like if she wasn't involved in it, there probably still would be like a stop go for drop QB Farms thing going, but yeah, she muddied it.
Right. So, but it is very it's very sus that it seems to be just the people that want it gone. But then when you look at police, they're so lazy, laid back. They don't want to do a single investigation, and they're happy to take the cows away and make fun of them. It's almost like the police are part of the fucking abuse, dude. It's so fucking nasty. The lack of respect, dignity, just human rights, it's appalling. Because to me, that is exactly the space, the place where society itself degrades to the point where we don't have one anymore. Because if we're willing to go to that, we might as well say, where we are in the 1100s, it was the Dark Ages, and we had something called witch hunting. And if we learned anything from history, it is that it leads to decay. It leads to rot. We can't have a society because if people can't have an opinion anymore, then you could just kill them if you don't like them.
Yeah, if you don't
Then
learn from history, you're bound to repeat it, man.
Right, and then what we can learn from that is that then the rapists will be the ones leading the charge in the world, and no one's gonna be safe from like being decapitated or raped at any fucking moment. Because if it could happen to me, well, who couldn't it happen to, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, where's the limit? Cause they're raping everybody out here. You don't have to come and confess. We're looking for you. We're gonna find you. So you can run and tell that, homeboy. We got your fingerprints and your teeth. Now I'm not a guy to call the police, right? I like to fix my own problems. I'm a guy that deals with my own problems. So for what it's worth, it is what it is, and so I'll probably never. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that some of these elements just don't belong in a free society. because I do believe that it erodes at the very fabric that we call society. And if anybody cared, it's something that we should enlighten, right? That it's not for the sake of the cows that we want to shut down the act. It's for the sake of society. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not actually that much interested in saving cows. I'm way more interested in fixing a society that's deeply broken, that keeps rotting away, that keeps having cancer. It's basically society having cancer with itself. And I'm arguing that we cure the cancer. That's all I'm doing. And I know I'm using the cows as a reference and saying, look at these, they never did nothing wrong and we should be nice to them. I know that's not really real, right? But the sentiment is there because the sentiment below that is we are eroding each other. We are eroding society. No matter if we like each other or not, and no matter if these people are flawed or not, for every act, we involve their families. And their families didn't do anything, right? Their friends never did anything. Their et cetera, et cetera. We erode all of that in another person's life. Plus the time we spend on it also erodes our dignity, our respect, our soul, our spirit, etc. So the more people engaged in it, the worse. When in reality, they could spend the time on building their own life up, building their own creativity, building their own success, or helping other people have success. The more we can help each other, the more we can grow. That's the sector is gonna also bound to be where it's at. As long as people don't grow, will always be a dark little stain on society, because that's ultimately what it is. It's a stain. Any normie would stay far, far away. That's why probably 90% of society, even if they saw it, they would get sucked into it, and then they would say, this is not for me. And some people would get sucked into it, and then they would eventually realize later on that it's a rabbit hole and that they wasted time only to find regrets. So, and then the last ones, they probably have regrets, but it's too late for them. They're so deep in the rabbit hole.
Nah, people love fucking drama. Like,
That's
it's
true.
a natural state.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's why people get attracted to it. It's hard not to be, right? But that's the sin. Is simply to be attracted to it. It's bad. Because everybody gets sucked into it, and eventually wake up one day and you're like, whoa, this is hell. Because that's the end result, right? Chaos and destruction is kind of the path down to the destruction, right? Chaos is the path down to destruction, and drama is chaos. So given enough of that, something crashes, something breaks, and it will keep breaking through the drama. Everything will keep breaking through the drama, unfortunately. As much as it's fun, it's destructive. I hope people understand that. But I think most people do. Some people intend it, right? And that's also
people are there's like a pecking order, and there's a reason why people there's a reason why Schadenfreude exists. There's like an evolutionary reason why that Schadenfreude exists, and I feel like that's mostly like what watching cows or making fun of cows is Schadenfreude.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I believe sometimes it's this shallow understanding of people, and often when people judge a lot, it's because they're closed-minded. Closed-mindedness is one of the main reasons why people judge. So it comes from a place of ignorance. It comes from a place of perhaps lack of internal growth, and this lack of internal growth turns to judgment in others, where perhaps they could have spent that time developing themselves. I feel like there's an element of that. They compare themselves to others. They use external validation. People that are dependent on validation go to judging those people. They will have Schadenfreude. So because they reflect them back, they reflect other people back from themselves.
Yeah, but don't you think it's worth pursuing why that exists evolutionarily? Or why ignorance? Why people choose to be ignorant or closed-minded? Why is that? Most people are that way. If you go around
That's
the world.
that's because they are confirmation biased rather than critical thinkers. They're kind of
No,
followers rather.
it's because they bred more, right? Like more people have like have that predisposition. Like
Well, they have that
it's been more.
predisposition because they look for external validation. They see everything as good and bad, and they don't. They're lacking some insights into life. It's a lack of insight. It's a
Yeah,
lack
but
of
most
knowledge.
things are good and bad. Like for a human, like something you found on the ground, like a bear, or in a bush, like a berry. A berry is either good or bad. Like there's not many berries that are like middle of the road. You know what I mean? Most berries either
No,
like kill you or make
no.
you sick, or they're food.
Well, see, then your perspective is limited because all berries are just berries. Because you
Well,
define
no, but some
poison.
of them will kill you.
Yeah, but you define that as bad, while good taste is good. What if a
Well,
berry
yeah,
is just
like
a berry?
no, it's not me. It's not me. Evolution has defined poison as bad, like in a human mind.
No, it's only bad for you because you can't eat
No,
it.
it's bad for. Well, it's bad for the human, like
Yeah.
any human. Yeah.
Yeah, but is
Well,
it
that's
bad
the
for
only
potatoes?
perspective we have. That's
Well,
the
not
only
if you're
perspective we
potato.
have.
If you're potato, you have a potato perspective.
No,
And
well, potatoes don't have brains, so they don't have any perspective.
yeah, so maybe potatoes would see berries more like they're just berries, whether they're poisonous or not. Some berries
A
chose to
potato
be
wouldn't see anything because it doesn't have eyes.
no,
Those
because
kind of eyes
a
to see
poisonous
things.
berry is yeah, I could give you a reason why potato berries are good.
Yeah, if it
Yeah.
turns into like fertilizer, if it turns into like nitrogen because it's decomposed, that's the only way that a fucking potato would give a shit about it. And it could be anything. It could be
Well,
just poop.
Well, you say that poison is bad. So you're a human being, and you see things as good and bad. A potato
Yeah.
is just one.
But yeah, in
right?
my
So-
opinion, the human perspective is the only one that matters.
okay, well, so what I would say is that a poisonous berry is good because it makes itself in such a way that it can't be eaten by humans, so it will be left alone by those goobers. I'd say that berry is a is a hero. That berry chose to be a green potato. And potatoes can do the same. They just unearth themselves a little bit, lay in the sunshine for a little bit, and they turn green. And it's like, okay, try eat me now, bitch.
I'd say
that-
the
is that
opposite
potato-
because
But is that
because
potato bad then? Is-
humans are so advanced that like a berry that is bad that kills humans could go extinct because humans have no reason to cultivate it. But a berry that's good that humans like provides nutrition will spread around the world. It will be
Yeah, so-
prolific because humans will spread it around the world like potatoes.
So
You know,
instead of
like if
seeing the
potatoes
berries,
for poison.
as good or bad, you just see them as they are. Some berries are poisonous; they are not for human consumption, and other berries are for human consumption. If you saw that as neither good nor bad, then you could begin to see it for what it is, right? So you will see the good berry
Yeah,
as okay. This one can be eaten by humans. That's good for humans. The other one, maybe it's worthless, or maybe it has 99 other uses which none of them are for eating, for human consumption, or maybe it can be drawn out of it, or maybe it's for medicine.
I'll grant you that. I'll grant you that. If there's another like utility for a human, then it could be good, right? Like if
Yeah,
you could
so-
make something with it.
Right. So, but from your dualistic point of view, you already discarded the bad berry. Where I was willing to say, well, they're just both berries. I don't see anything good or bad in it. One of them is edible, though, so that is a quality. So let's take a look at the other one and check out its qualities, right? So I look at things as in terms of qualities instead of good and bad. You see, who has the biggest brain then, me or you?
Well, I mean, I just take it to the next obvious step and say there are good qualities and bad qualities.
So I would say more. I would instead of good and bad, I would refine that and say things such as, is it useful or is it not useful? Like, is it worth? Has it
That's
does it
good
have
and bad.
not necessarily, because you just, all I'm saying is you have to extend that, because when you look at things that just good and bad, you start to judge. Instead, you look at, well, instead of
Well,
when I look at things that are
no, I
bad,
mean,
I look
I
at,
think
well, what
I
are the
think you
qualities?
I
You have to
think
look
you
in the
can like
qualities
you
in
can
both things.
always expand upon something, right? Like you can always say like oh, this is like but like for shorthand, like humans categorize things, right? That's
Yeah,
what we do.
that's what I'm
That's
trying
our
to
whole.
point out to you, my guy, is that you're a hell of a fallacy.
Like if you're walking through the woods with your child who's like 4 years old, and you see a fucking blueberry bush, you would say that's a good berry, right? And if you came
Yeah,
across some fucking berry
right.
that's
For a
poison, you'd say
child's
that's a
mind,
bad berry.
maybe, but for an adult's mind, you have to go beyond good and bad. Don't you
Well,
agree
it's
that
this
it's
no.
there's a
I'd say
point
for
where,
most beings, I'd say that even the child could eventually learn, like after they learn that,
okay, well,
right? They could
anyways,
learn.
so I would
They,
say if
they
you
could
look at things like
learn
good and bad, you have a
that
child's
this
mind on
has. Well, like everyone has a child's mind about something that
no,
they don't know anything about.
no, no. It's just you. You
Like
can
like
expand your mind.
anybody, anybody that you took into the woods, you'd have the same experience with if they didn't already know, like what to
They,
eat, for example.
they would still perceive the world in different ways. So going back to like judgment and the world and people who judge, it's as simple as people that look at things like it's
Everyone
either
judges. It's what
no,
we do. It's
yeah, yeah,
what we
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
but
do it all the time.
but you can judge
You're like,
in
oh, you
different
guys
ways.
are
Yeah,
being
okay.
mean to
Hey,
me.
hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, can
When
I
people
talk?
are
Can I
mean to you, when people
can I
no, you
talk,
keep
dude?
interrupting me. You keep talking over me. If you give me a chance to speak without speaking over me, then yes.
Now we're going past the point. Can I like rebuttal to the things you say?
Go ahead.
Okay, so when you said, judging, then good and bad is what I would say is a child's mind. A child's mind would see things as good and bad, but that leads to judging. You judge easily like that, but you will judge wrong. Why? It's because in a bigger sense, there is no such thing as good and bad. What you rather look at instead is not these dualities of good and bad. You look at qualities on each side. So you look at good, and then you look at good, and then you measure them up for worth and value. Then you have the real value rather than just good and bad, because nothing is just good and bad. Everything is good. Everything is good,
Okay.
and
Okay,
everything is
great.
bad.
So everything is good, everything is bad. So whenever people are making fun of you about your history and the things that you don't like to talk about, that's actually good, right? If you just open your mind enough, that's like a good thing that people are fucking bullying you and being mean to you and making fun of shit that you don't want to talk about. That's actually a good thing, right? You should
Well,
embrace it. And you should try to
well,
understand it in a different way
yeah,
that's
I do.
actually good, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
No,
yeah.
you
So you're
don't.
right.
No,
No,
you
you.
don't. You ban you fucking trip out, you get
Can
all
I?
mad and you ban everybody. Is what you do.
No. So you're right.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Yes.
So
I know.
so you're right, and I understand this. So
Yeah, the
you're
mini. So
Steph.
potato does the mini.
All right, so I don't want to be disturbed in when I'm talking. I hate that for my brain dev. It's very annoying. So where were we?
You were about to tell me how it's actually a good thing that when you get bullied and how that's actually
Yeah,
great.
because you say it's yeah. So you say it's good, but so
No, you said it's good.
no. Well,
You
I'm
said
saying yeah.
everything is good.
Yeah. But so I don't disagree with you. So I would agree with you on this point, right? That there's a good aspects in this. So what the good aspects of what you're saying is that it keeps you pressed, right? It keeps you stressed so that you possibly can perform better, right? These are arguably good aspects if it helps you perform better. If it helps you be motivated to do more. That's
No, it doesn't
good, but
matter. It doesn't
there's
matter if it helps you to be better or any of that. It just is good. It just is good. No matter what someone calls you or says to you or says about you, it is good according to your logic.
no. So that's not
You said
quite how
everything is good. You said
it is. And
everything is good.
yeah, and I just told you some of the good aspects, right? Everything has good aspects of it. Everything has qualities, but good and bad would
Well,
be
no,
false.
you were trying to rationalize it like if it helps to like, press you or keep you on your toes, but it doesn't matter if it does that or not. Really, it's just is good. It is good to
Well,
bully you. You embrace
it-
that, right?
I don't really embrace that, but I
Or like
mean,
to stalk you, that is good. Like if people stalk you and bother you for years and years, that's good, right? Like everything TXT's ever said to you is good,
yeah,
right?
some people would say that, yeah.
But
I don't.
you just said that. That's your logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, you're right. But so yeah, that's how I see things. Yeah.
So
So you're
and
yeah. So you're not wrong.
according to you, pedophiles are good, right? Because that's something. It's something, right? So it's
No,
good.
I don't do anything. I'm not saying anything that's good and bad. That's how you see things. I don't see
No, I
things
know.
as good
You
and
said
bad.
everything is good. You said everything is good.
Well, I'm saying in the light of when you say good and bad, I'm saying everything has good aspects to it, and everything has bad aspects to it.
Okay,
But
what
good
are the
and
good
bad,
aspects to
what
pedophiles? What are the good aspects to pedophiles?
they help you reflect what not to do.
They help you reflect on what not to do.
Yeah. They help you see that you're a better person. There's two good things. Is that not correct? Is that not right?
No, that's not right. There's nothing good about that. There's nothing good.
Okay, well then you're a judgmental person because you're just lying to me.
I'm
Right?
not lying. No, I never made the argument that everything is
You're
good. You did.
You're judgmental and you're making a fallacy. And this is why you good and seeing things as good and bad is futile. You have a limited mindset. That's all I'm saying. And you just want to be upset about it because you see the world like that. You judge exactly like that. You're simple like that.
Yeah,
But it's just too crude.
upset about bad things like pedophiles. Yes. Got me.
Okay. Because some things are bad and some things are good, and so
That's
you
right.
in your mind that's bad, and that's the simple
Yes.
conclusion. Okay.
Yes. Simple
So
as. It's black and white.
yeah. Okay. So
I'm just pointing out all the crazy mental gymnastics you have to jump through to keep this. Like,
I'm not jumping
theory
through
up.
any. I'm not making any mental gymnastics.
Yeah, you are. You're sitting
No.
there trying to come up with good qualities of pedophilia.
You
That's
asked
like
me
the
to.
definition of. No, it was. I'm asking you to defend your logic. Yeah.
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 Guys,
Like
I've just come back. What's been said? What's happening?
Potato was just telling us about the good aspects of pedophilia.
So we're doing that. You're a
What?
funny
Is he
guy. Yeah.
lying, Potato, or is he misrepresenting your words?
I think he's being a little bit of a bitch right now. I think you're being
Bro,
Is that
dishonest.
good or bad?
This
Is
is a
that a
peaceful
good or bad
server.
thing?
It just
Well,
is.
what?
You tell me if it's good or bad. You're the one that sees everything as good as bad and bad, right? So you would be able to tell me because you're an expert in good and bad.
Yeah, it's pejorative. It's bad. You know, you calling someone saying they're acting like a bitch. It's a pejorative. It's a bad thing.
Oh, I did the bad thing. Okay, I see.
No, I'm
I see.
saying you called me a bad thing like that. Like you didn't. There's no other way. There's no positive way I could interpret that.
All right. Well, I think you're a good example of why good and bad perception is just not good enough because you're just not seeing the nuances. You're not seeing
Oh, you
things
mean it as a
truthfully.
compliment? You meant it as a
No,
compliment?
no. I think you're complicating things more than it has to be.
I'm simplifying things.
Maybe AI can explain it better than I can.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, we see you, Dev. Just chill a bit. You interrupt. It's not good. Think about it. I do want to talk with you, and I do want you to talk. Just I don't want you to interrupt me because here's what I don't want, Dev. I do not want dogpiling. So if somebody talks to me and I'm about to rebuttal, you do not interrupt because that's called a dogpile. Okay?
Is
So
that good or bad?
doesn't matter. It's a dogpile. That's what it is.
But you're against it, right? You're against dogpiling.
I don't see things as good and bad, and it's just.
But you're against it. You're against it. It sounds like because you've muted him because you think that's what he's going to do. So that it'd be would it be correct to infer that you're against dogpiling? And could you provide me with some good qualities of dogpiling that you think are productive, or just good, or yeah, they're productive that
Maybe
useful.
like a football game.
When is dogpiling useful? Well, like even in a football game, like I think it's discouraged. It's not like a proper
Nah, fourth
play.
and goal, man. Come on. 4th and goal to stop that run.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
if you jump on a guy who's already down, you're gonna get a foul or
Yeah, they
Okay,
all do
are you-
that.
are you
Have
ready?
You ever
Are you
seen
ready?
a fumble?
Are you ready to listen to Ents?
Can you start with the prompt that you gave it?
No. Are you ready to listen?
Well, yeah. I mean, can you tell us the
No.
prompt that you gave
Don't
the
worry about
AI and then read the response?
it. It will read it. So here it is. The confusion between two ants and the potato of life stems from their fundamentally different ways of perceiving the world. Two ants sees reality as a duality, a constant battle between good and bad, right and wrong, dividing life into rigid categories. For two ants, everything is judged through this lens of separation, always trying to pick a side or determine what's worthy or unworthy. This creates a limited view of the world. See, the computer agrees with me, filled with tension and judgment, as if life itself can be boiled down to simple binary choice. On the other hand, the potato of life transcends this dualistic thinking. It doesn't see life as a series of black and white choices, but rather as a holistic experience where everything flows together in a continuous state of growth and change. The potato of life understands that everything, even contradictions, can coexist without judgment. It's like the potato which grows both in the dirt, the bad, and nourishes life, the good. It exists beyond the need to label things as positive or negative. In essence, the potato of life is about
It just
embracing.
did though.
What?
It just did label things. It just did label things good and bad. Like it said that dirt was bad and life was good. It just did that.
Yeah, for you to under. Jesus. The potato doesn't care you know. But yeah, there are things that are dark, and then there's things that are light. There are things that are, but it's not as simple as seeing everything as a duality, as if things are good or bad. Somebody like Cyrex has good qualities. It's not just pedophiles are bad. Cyrex provides a lot of value for people, and that is arguably
Does he?
good. If you want, yeah, he does. Have you seen Marty's
What?
Marty's income? People laughing, people getting jokes. These are all value. What is a laugh worth? It's worth something, right? A lot of people laugh. Right? What is judgment? You
I
get to
mean,
judge.
well, I mean, this brings us back to the original
Yeah.
point. Is like, I mean, it's Schadenfreude. Like they're laughing at his misfortune. Like
So there's
he
a
would,
valid.
he would, like, so the idea that he like exists, like if we were living in an older time, like people would be laughing as they threw rocks to stone him to death for not only what he is but what he's done. Right? And they would laugh and they'd have
And
good
what's your
feelings
point?
about it.
What's your point?
My point is that would be a good thing.
Right. So everything has good aspects, right?
What, him dying?
But-
Yeah, sure. Yes, I think
But-
pedophiles dying is good.
Okay.
It's not even.
I
It's just good.
All right. Okay. So is murder good?
Oh, there it is. There it is. The
Right, so-
positive aspects
so-
of pedophiles
so-
is them
so-
is them dying a horrible
Right, so-
death.
So murder is good, is what you're saying. So murderers
I
are
mean,
good.
Murder. Well, what do you know what a murder is?
Yeah, you just explained it to me. So what you're saying is that murderers are good and murder is good.
Murder? Can you
Well, in
define
your-
murder?
Well, in your worldview, everything is good or bad, and you just said murder is good
Murder just means an illegal killing.
because
Right,
pedophiles are bad, so murder is good. That's the
Right, but
in
so,
your good and
so
bad
like,
worldview. You just told me that murder is good because
all right,
you
can I
saw
re-
simple.
Can I? Sorry,
Because
can I
your
respond?
good and bad worldview led you to see things so simple that you have justified murder. Because good and bad,
So
pedophiles bad, murder good.
You're showing that you don't know what murder means. You don't know what that word means.
I'm showing that your
It is an
crudeness and
execution murder.
understanding, and your understanding of the world leads you to a very limited view of reality. That's what
No,
I'm
a
saying.
murder-
and that's why
I'm gonna explain it to you.
No, because we're going
A
back to the root
murder
now. No, because we're going back to the
is-
root now, and the
A
root
murder is
the
an
root you
illegal
wanna-
killing.
well,
It's when you
okay,
kill
listen.
someone that breaks
Listen.
the law. But in
Yeah,
my worldview,
Nah,
it would be legal to kill pedophiles, so it wouldn't be murder.
right. Okay. So murder is good. It would still be murder. An action is murder is
No.
still a murder. If you so lying is good now too,
No,
and being delusional about
no,
what your hands are
a
doing.
murder is only a murder if it's
So-
illegal.
Okay. So if you close your eyes, it's not a murder. All right. Okay.
No,
Got you.
if you change the law, it's not.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
murder. If the
yeah,
law-
yeah. If you just write a piece of paper out, then the action isn't
Yes,
there, right? In the
That's
eyes of God.
exactly right.
Yeah, yeah, and
Exactly.
you want God to close his eyes to you. You're insane. Okay, so
Well, that's
I
what
don't
a
even.
murder is.
You sound insane. You sound absolutely insane. Your logic is derailed, dude.
I don't think so.
Your limited view, and okay, so we're just going back to you had the question: why do people judge? This is why people judge because they see a limited reality, and that's the one you see, a dualistic worldview, and because they see that, it's because
Sounds like
that's-
you're judging me. You're judging me because of my dualistic worldview.
well, that's where a lot of the misunderstandings come from. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, it sounds pretty judgmental.
All right. Okay. Well, I made some observations, and I'm just.
What's the difference between your observations and the judgment?
Judgment is you understand something to be either good or bad, and then when you see good, you're like, "That's good." When you see bad, that's bad. Observation
No,
is.
I mean, A judgment's not
you make
whether
you make a judgment based on
can
what you
judge.
see and not what you feel.
I can judge between whether one object is a tree and another object is a beetle. That's a judgment. That doesn't require that one be good or one be bad. Like, that's not what judgment means.
I think you're being deliberately. I don't want to talk with you anymore. I'd like the conversation to end between me and you. I'm not looking
Why
for
is
an
that?
argument. I'm not looking to argue with you.
You just
So-
want everyone to agree with whatever you say.
No, if you can't understand it, then the conversation ends. I'm not interested in an argument with you. I'm just
I've
waking up.
understood everything you've
It's
said.
8 a.m.
I understand everything.
and the conversation's over. So then go think about it then, because I'm just telling you that that's how the world works. If the world judges because they see things as good and bad, they can't transcend their dualistic worldview. And that's why they choose to judge, and you're choosing to judge too. It's a choice. It's a deliberate choice you take because you see things so crudely. But you think murder is good. That's how derailed your moral compass is. Right. So we don't need to have more conversation. We get it. You're not smart enough to see the world more complicated, or you can't transcend your understanding. Right. It's either good or bad in your world. But if you saw things bigger, you would understand that most things just is. Right. Sure, they have bad aspects and good aspects, and some things have a lot more bad aspects than good aspects. Right. And you say, well, that's when you look at it like that, it's like good and bad, isn't it? Well, yeah. There's qualities that are useful, qualities that are less useful in context. And then in another context, it might be different, right? Which is why it's usually it's an oversimplification to look at things as good and bad. What you really should look at things like is just the way that a potato sees things. Right? Look at everything like it's an input of energy and output of something. Right? Does it transform the energy into something good, or does it? I mean, even if you look at things like decay and life, you could ask yourself, well, what's better, life or decay? Well, most people agree on life is better, right? But you and other people probably think that darkness is better, and tearing down and destroying and bringing chaos and waste into other people's life is somehow a positive. Right? It's good, as you say, or maybe I don't know. Who cares, right? But I think a lot of your problems stem from this simplification, right? Because you come to wrong conclusions, right? Somehow you think murder is good, as long as it's like with a twist or whatever. Like it's you are the one creating mental gymnastics. You are the one overcomplicating things. And
Hey, I think everyone's agreed to let everybody have their chance to talk. Can we unmute the people who are muted so they can have a chance?
Well,
to
I
speak?
didn't want to have this argument with him.
No, it's
He
not
asked
about
a question.
this. It's just I meant overall.
Yeah, I didn't want to have the argument with him. All I wanted he asked about, well, how can you do about what do people when people judge, right? Just explaining how it is. I didn't want to have a fucking argument with him, right? Does that make sense? He wants to argue. And it's like I don't want that. Just like shut up. You ask one question. I would just wanted to answer you one question, and then you dive into a deep fucking like piss off. Anyways, so I'll unmute him. I just don't want to fucking argue. It's 8 a.m. here. Like I literally I'm not.
Yeah, it's too early for that.
I just don't know who these guys.
It's a guy
Bobo
called.
was muted. Dev is muted.
Yeah.
Nicest gun server's muted.
Hey, Dev. Welcome back. Man, Dev is putting off a lot of white noise.
I'm unmuted. Holy shit. Hey guys.
But so two ends. You have a wrong perception of me. Actually, I don't. So two ends. You have a wrong perception of me. I noticed that as well. By the way, So you want to look at things that are wrong and right. You are wrong, but you have a wrong perception of me. You've had a wrong perception of me for a long time. You think something of me that isn't true, and I want you, because you said it yourself. You say whatever, so and so and so. So you're here for all the wrong reasons, aren't you? Yeah, wrong is bad, right? Yeah, this is the way you can understand
there
things.
is no
So you're
wrong
bad.
reason.
No, you're bad. No, you're bad. You're bad. So because that's the only way you can understand things. You're bad. You're bad.
No, I'm
So,
good.
no,
I'm
you're
actually
bad.
good.
No, you're
Except
evil.
in the eyes
You're
of
bad.
God.
No, I didn't ask you. So I didn't. It wasn't an argument. I told you I don't want to have an argument. Here's the deal. You are bad. You are bad. Like, I see things dualistic now. Like, I understand what you're saying, right? So you're bad. I figure out you waste a lot of my time. That's bad. That's bad. I figured you want to argue with me. You want to waste my time. That's bad. You want to take my energy and my mood. That's bad. That's bad. You have bad intentions, and that's bad. You don't see me as I am. That's also bad. That's a lie. That's bad. All these things are bad, and so you look hella bad. What do you think about that? What do you think about the fact that you're bad?
I disagree with
think
the
they're
premise of
muted.
the question.
What do you mean you disagree? I made it so simple. You're bad. Like I told you all the reasons why you're bad.
Do you understand what a premise is?
Doesn't matter. You know, it's so simple. It's good or bad, and you're bad.
The premise matters. I mean,
no, it doesn't, because it's good and bad, and you're bad, right? It's bad. You're bad. So there you go. You wanted to know about why is it bad to see things as good or bad? It's because I'm just being judgmental, my guy, and I judge you for all these things, and I'm fair to do so, because that's what a judging person would do. And now I'm judging you because you're bad. You're bad. Why are you bad? I didn't ask. We already know.
Why don't you stop beating your wife?
Yeah, exactly. So now, maybe you can see it now. I don't know. Can you better see it now? You're bad. Like, we agree on that, right? You're bad, because that's the way I see it. So it really doesn't matter what the way you see it, because that's the way I need. That's my external validation. You're bad in my view, and I'll tell all my friends that you're bad in my view, and they'll all agree, because when I judge you, it becomes true. That's because that's the way I feel, right? There's a, yeah, it could make it good. If you could change all of those things, you could be good. It could be good and not bad, but you would have to change all the bad things.
So if I was
I think
nice
what
to you,
Potato's saying is that's his perception of you, my bro. That's
no, I get that, and he's entitled to it. He's
yeah,
entitled
everyone's
to
entitled.
his perception. If I was Potato,
so it is.
I probably wouldn't like me very much either.
So it's about perception, and what? So what about my perception? Does it mean? So what about my perception? You say? Is it because I'm smart, or is it because I'm what? Is it? Should I have a higher understanding of you? So if I had a higher understanding of you,
that's your perception of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It's about perception. So good and bad, it comes down to perception. Yeah. So it's so if I'm ignorant and I have a shallow perception, shallow understanding, and my perception is that, then that's when I start to judge him. So judging comes from ignorance.
Are you saying that you're ignorant? Are you saying that you are ignorant?
No, I'm saying I'm trying to get to the point that I tried to get to begin with, but maybe I'm trying to get you to see it. I tried to explain it to you in words, but you weren't listening, or you couldn't understand it. Maybe you can understand it now. That why judging is.
I'm probably too ignorant and not smart enough.
Okay.
All right, Dev. I mean, what do you have to say?
Why are there so many people here? Why is this a Jewish club for Jewish
I don't even know
conversation
what
right
the
now?
question is.
Why is everyone Jewish
he's
here?
saying why
Why is there?
Why am I bad? Why am I bad?
Your time's over. So, why are there 20 Jews in this room right now?
I'm not a
Jewish.
Jew. I'm not a Jew. I'm a potato Catholic.
It's your Twitter space.
Okay.
Who's a
Well,
dev?
I'm just wondering why everyone's here all of a sudden. Somebody talk. Somebody be real honest right now. Be honest with me. What's going on?
Dev said he's
Just be
trying to talk, but he's muted.
I'll unmute Dev, but tell me what's going on. How did this moment arise?
I don't know. I've been in here for hours, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but like somebody, come on, just spill the beans. What's going? It's okay.
I've
Just tell me.
also been in here for a decent amount of time. Potato,
Yeah,
you can
but
vouch.
somebody just tell me, how did this moment arise? Did it just arise spontaneously? Come on, somebody say something. What happened? What?
Ask Dev.
People
Ask
probably
Dev.
just saw
He probably knows.
people in
Ask
Okay,
BC.
Dev, be honest. What?
Through.
Okay, PFC. Do you know if he? Just tell me. Just tell me what happened.
I don't know anything. I'm just saying, like, people saw people around VC and more people.
Okay. Yeah, it could be organic. All right, Dev, what do you want to say?
It's a weekend.
Well,
so.
Please forgive me, two ends. We talked a lot. I'm gonna let you cool down for a little bit. Is that okay? Is that okay for everyone? He talked a lot. I don't want him interrupting everything. I'll unmute him in like 5 minutes. Just let somebody else come to the table. Is that okay?
Sure.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess yeah.
So what?
Okay,
up,
Dev.
Potato? How are you doing?
Just chilling. We're trying to crunch the world today. A lot of new people coming in. Is that why do they always come in the morning? Is there some kind of like morning show that's going on in Marty's shit or something?
In fairness, it's like nighttime here in the west. So
Yeah, but am I being shouted out or something? What is? It's always. It's like
no
there's.
idea. I'm not tracking movies right now, but he is live right now too. So.
Whoa! I guess they love you. What can I say?
Well, I am a pretty cool guy, am I not?
Yeah.
I don't want to sound too full of myself. I do think I am a cool person.
I do agree with that. I agree with that, Potato.
I appreciate that. You're all welcome here, by the way. So as long as you have the spring right attitude, bro. I swear, yesterday I can't live like this anymore. If you look at this shitty sector, you look at the world, it keeps getting worse, right? And you're just like, well, I should be making money, and you're like, oh well, I guess I'm not. And then you just look at your life and you say, well, I could have had a job, I could have done something, and what do you do it for? For these goobers online, so they can learn nothing at all and never listen. What's the point then? It's like it's the most frustrating thing, I'll tell you. If you have years and years and years, and you still feel like the same people, you're still struggling with them, and you wonder why are you struggling? Because obviously you tried everything you could to help them along the path, right? And they still don't want to move along the path.
So
Then you
that's
have to
why-
realize. No, you have to realize if you offer simple solutions to people over and over and over again, and they present complicated problems to you, you have to start realizing at some point these people are going to die at this. Like it, I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? I offered solutions. It's because they want to be the problem, and then they got to go to jail or something, right? Because people that
have you
create
ever
problems all the time.
have you ever
then
heard
we call them criminals. We call them criminals, sir.
have you ever heard the expression that insanity is trying the same
No.
thing over and
Okay,
over again
you're right,
and
you're right, that's
expecting
right.
a different result?
I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. So I don't know if we need to get people to prison soon or something like this, because I don't want to sit and say the same things over and over again. I don't want to have bad people do bad in your worldview, right? I don't want to have bad people do bad crimes on me over and over and over again, and nothing happens when I can't go nowhere. Usually we put people like that in prison. So instead of me doing the same thing, can we work on getting people to prison like Mandalorian or something like that? I'm sick of it. I'm just tired. I'm tired of wasting I want to make money. I want to go places. I want to grow. Okay?
Was Mandalorian upsetting you when you quit the
I don't
internet
want to
for
be.
like
I
2
don't.
years?
I don't want to be stalked.
Yeah,
That's
when
it.
you quit the internet for like 2 or 3 years, was
What
Mandalorian stalking you?
Yeah, was he around then, or was it just quiet then?
Did he like
I
come to your house or anything?
these people was not able to reach me. None of them was able to reach me because I blocked them all out of my life. And so they were crying. So I mean, I don't know. They weren't able to reach me.
And how did that go?
How did that go? I was successful.
Yeah, it was a good thing, right? Or I mean, it made some of the complaints you have now null, right?
What?
Sorry, it made some of the complaints you have now you didn't have then, right? Like when you had quit the internet.
I don't understand.
Am I not coming in clearly?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Am I not clear? Do I need to fix my connection, or is
No,
it
I don't
like
understand. I
No,
don't understand what you're saying.
I think what he's trying to say, Potato, is when you were off the internet, were you then facing the same problems that you were when you were on the internet?
Yeah, like
I think that's what he's.
yes? That's what I'm saying.
No.
Okay.
Like,
Would
what would
that
I
be a
face?
solution?
No.
Yeah, I can think you into
Like, I obviously want to have an opinion. First Amendment, yeah, it's a right. Have you ever
In
considered that?
America, you don't have that in Denmark.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. That's a nice sentiment, my guy. Cool world to live in. Okay. I want to sign out of this. Can I join can I join the Eastern Alliance? Because I'm sick of you. You are so disgusting. Even what you're saying there. What a clown you are. I don't want to be part of the Western Alliance anymore. I hate America. I want to join Iran. I don't want to talk with you. You're out of my life. If that's what you feel like, is either you say you're sorry, or you're just leaving right now. Because I don't want to talk with you. I don't want to give you the rights of freedom of speech. You don't get to speak. Actually, this guy doesn't get to speak. Americans do not get to speak in my space from now on. If that's are you gonna say sorry, or do you want to get banned? Say sorry, faggot. Nigger.
What should I be
Say
what should I
sorry.
be sorry for?
Say sorry, nigger, faggot. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you don't get to be in my life or talk. What a clown. I don't want to waste my life like that. That's a good example of how I do not want to waste my time or my life.
Can we get the fuck out of my life? Or can you scream it? No.
Did he leave? He left. He'll be back.
Yeah, he was getting a little messed up there.
Who read him off?
Nicest guy.
He just got tired of. I don't know. He was dealing.
You
He was
did
talking
get a
with
good
Chew
nigger
Ants for
faggot
a
out of
while.
him.
Yeah. I was just trying to get him to unmute people. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's not one to bring
That shit hurt him when he reality checked him with the. Don't you
I'm
live in
down to
Denmark?
with
That doesn't apply to you. Say, oh, fuck you.
Like, I get him being upset that he's wasted a good portion of his life, but that's normal.
It's not anybody else's fault, you know.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I guess it could
Like,
be
Dude,
some of other people's, but like he lets it happen. I mean,
if you want to see
yeah,
that,
he
go to
could
old
just
folks' home.
get away from it. Not like it's not like somebody's gonna just hand him a job and millions of dollars and be like, "Here you go."
he said he wants he wants a family and a house and all that stuff.
Well,
I mean, like,
that's not just
you're
gonna
making
show
it.
up on your door stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
I know, but
Uh,
I think he feels like he can just work and do what he's doing, like, and make money. And it's like not many
like,
people make money off of streaming either. Anyway, like, you know,
well, yeah, like 90. What it's over 99% of people who stream fail. Like it's just the very, very top 1% that you see on, make it. I don't know. It's just I don't think he's gonna make it after this long. He's wasted a lot of time on it. I think that
If the dev can't make it, Potato will never
but then
make
again,
it.
if he goes and works, is he gonna lose his disability stuff? I wonder. Like, I wonder how much he's
or
allowed
is
to
the
make.
dev? I got him unmuted like 3 times and he didn't even get to talk.
Hey, Dev.
He's probably talking to his child developers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if Mari gives Potato $5, will they be friends for an hour?
No, it'll be more than that.
No. Potato will pretend that he will be, and then he'll take it and go, ha ha ha, I got you $5, and then we'll start being Potato again.
I wanted to show him some of Marty's views off of Rumble
I'm
tonight.
surprised
I'm
he
like,
wasn't
bro, not even 30 minutes into his Rumble, he's at 3K viewers.
People cut down on that shit though. So I used to be pretty bad. It would be like 100 transactions, like $1 and charge it back.
Hey, could you read that aloud for me? Okay.
What'd you post?
What do you? Yeah, in the garden. What do you guys think about that quote I just put?
People, mud dwellers? Or, wait, do you want me to say mud dwellers or?
Yeah, you can say mud dwellers.
Okay. People, mud dwellers are the soil I put my feet on, my roots. You need to be nourished for my feet, nourishing for my feet when I put them in your face, dweller. Are you just like wanting to step on this, Potato?
Do you have a foot fetish?
It's a kink.
No,
It's a kink thing.
I just that's how potatoes they don't hear with their ears. They soak up the nutrients through their feet and their hands. Or
I get
their
it, but the
roots.
wording specifically is strange.
Like butterflies.
The wording is a little bit like that, right? So if people give me ass or something, I gotta absorb that through my feet. Does that make sense? Because I want to put my nourishment where the growth is best, right? So some of it I can take it in from my ears. Some of it I can take in from my hand roots, right? And some of it I can take in from my feet roots. And
You're basically saying you're better than everyone else there.
I'm saying I will choose to take in with my feet if nourishment is from my feet. But the good nourishment, maybe I'll take it into my brain. Maybe I'll take it in my ears.
That's definitely foot fetish.
I don't have a foot fetish. I have a mud dweller fetish.
You.
It's a mud. Yeah. It's not a foot fetish. It's a mud dweller fetish. I want to put my ass and my feet in mud dwellers.